Hey, vinyl community. Hey, come on in, have a seat with me, and got some things to go over and some exciting stuff to show. So come on and sit down and have a seat. This isn't a video response to Flipside CT Steve, who's got some great stuff on his video, and also a response from Paul, Fit to be Tie-Dyed, who has a lot of great stuff as well. Today, Steve's topic was about radar. So I wanted to jump in on that as well and give my topic and show and talk about radar as well. So let's get started. What do you say? All right? All right. Let's see. Gary Burkhoff. That's who it is. And he was born in '43. And in 1970 was Gary's big break. He ended up on the TV show MASH. And as you all know him, he was the star on Radar on the TV show, like I said, MASH. And that was great that Radar was a part of that whole thing. Wait a minute. Are we... Steve and Paul, are we not supposed to do a video about Radar and MASH, the TV show? I thought that's what we were supposed to be doing, was about Radar, the TV show. Okay. Yeah, you know, Beetle Brad wouldn't leave you hanging. No, this is Beetle Brad's albums that were under the radar. Not that kind of radar, TV show, MASH, under the radar. Just my humorous joke. And I loved it. I hope you did too. And it's not even April Fool's. All right, my first album, Mudside Slim, James Taylor. A great album. Very much underlooked. People listen to it and then just kind of file it away, and that's kind of the end of it. Gary Lewis and the Playboys, another album that was fantastically played, well loved by people who love Gary Lewis. A lot of big hits on this album, but definitely another album that was overlooked, and another album that was not very well received as time went on. I lost my other ones here. Okay. Like I said, I've got several albums to show. Another great album, Dave Clark 5. Great album that Dave Clark was one of those bands that was just so overshadowed by The Who and the Stones and the Beatles that they still put out great stuff, but they were definitely overshadowed. And definitely this album and a lot of their albums were overshadowed, that's for sure, and overlooked. This is an album, but it's not really an album, but it's technically an album, but it's not. I go back and forth, but I really like it. And this album is still sealed. Well, it's in its shrink wrap. It's not still sealed, but it's still in the original shrink wrap. And it's the Monkees, Missing Links. And they made 3 volumes of these. Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. Hence the 3 albums. But as far as I know, the album is only the first one that they released on vinyl. And the Missing Links, I feel, is this is definitely an overlooked album that people don't get into or really don't think of or anything like that. And there's some fantastic outtakes of their regular albums on this album. So, Missing Links, you need to listen to it. Definitely an album overlooked. Now, one of Beetle Brad's favorite groups, definitely one of my favorite groups, very seldom talked about in the VC, very much. Did I plug that well enough? Did I expand on it too far? One of the bands that I love a lot, but definitely is overlooked, and that is Madness. It seems like everything by Madness is overlooked and under the radar and definitely forgotten. But Madness is a fantastic group. Concerts, promo videos, albums, DVDs, CDs. I've got all the stuff on Madness. Not all their albums. I'm missing like 3. But their stuff is fantastic. It's absolutely madness. Definitely an album overlooked, that's for sure. All right, my next album, which was a great, great album, but had a lot of controversy, had a lot of huge hits. And this was the Mama and the Papas. This was a great album, but definitely an overlooked album. And then it got very controversial because there's a toilet here, and they covered it up. So this was a great album by the Mamas and the Papas. Like I said, it was definitely overlooked by a lot of people because of the controversial. But this album had a lot of big hits on it as well. So this is one of my picks for under the radar of an album that was overlooked. Another great British band that Beatle Brad likes a lot, and you wouldn't know who it is by looking at the front cover, but by listening to the album, this is a terrific, terrific underrated album that's under the radar. And this is Hermits, Hermits. And I really think this was a great album as well. Really good album. Had a lot of terrific hits on this album. Really, really good album. I feel it was definitely overlooked. My next album is a classic rock and roll album. I saw The Who. It's Hard. This is a great album, terrific album. Not too many people even show it or talk about it. But this album, I feel as if it's just kind of got lost in the catalog of The Who. And isn't shown and is kind of under the radar as well. I saw The Who during this concert when they were on tour. This was a great, great album. So this album I definitely feel is under the radar as well. Not the TV show Radar MASH. Okay. Another great album. I'm still going, by the way. Elvis Presley. This album I feel is a terrific album. Was definitely an overlooked album. An album that was kind of passed up. But the Elvis people know exactly what I'm talking about with this album. It's a great album. But outside of the Elvis community, this album was definitely an overlooked and under the radar album of Elvis Presley. I got the original paperwork, and I've even got the original Elvis photograph that went with it as well. So it had some goodies in this album, so this was definitely another under the radar. All right, now for my last album, which I felt was a great album, really good, definitely under the radar album as well, and it is Ringo Starr, Rotogravure. This is a great album. I think the whole album is a very well done album, very well produced. Ringo sounds great on this album, vocal-wise. Ringo and his voice is right in pitch. I think everything is a great album on this. There were promo videos to this album. There were singles. That's what we call 45s back then. From this album was released. A lot of great stuff off of this album, Rotogravure. So maybe take a listen to that one as well. So these are just a few of my picks of the albums that I felt as if definitely were under the radar. So come on, vinyl community, jump in on this one. This is a good topic. So jump in and let's see some of the albums you could come up with. Just don't type them out to me. Do a video. Come on, there's plenty of you guys out there that got tons of vinyl, tons of topic on this. And Steve came up with a great idea. Paul's jumped in on it. And now I'm in on it. So let's see what you can pull together, vinyl community. Let me know what you thought anyway. For those that don't have a channel, let me know what you thought of this. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you to the new subscribers that have joined in with me and watching my channel. Hi, new subscribers. Check's in the mail. Yeah, right. You got a check from Beatle Brad. Yeah, really. So, but no, thank you very much to my new subscribers. I'm enjoying talking to each and every one of you. Enjoy doing videos as well. You have no idea what a blessing and what it means to me of doing this. It is just a lot of fun to come into your home or your place of work or wherever you're watching me on video I thoroughly enjoy it, and I hope you are too. So, but anyway, Steve and Paul, there you go. There's my topic on albums that were definitely under the radar. All right, vinyl community. I know that was pretty short and quick, and I talked fast, but I wanted to get it all in. And as I say on my videos, I am out of here. Take care, everybody. See ya.